there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the Star-Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the
Before the American Revolution, our founding fathers considered themselves slaves of the empire. And then Thomas Jefferson read John Locke. And he said that our freedom was not given us by the king. It was an unalienable right given us by God. It is irrevocable, non-transferable, and unsellable. Founders understood that, and this is why, at the end of the Declaration of Independence, they put, we pledge our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. They said they would die before they'd be slaves. I won't just die before I be a slave. I'll kill before I be one. So all y'all out there to say you have no choice, what the founders showed you. It's Patrick Henry that said, give me liberty or give me death. And on that fateful night when George Washington had to cross the Delaware River in the ice and the snow, or the American Revolution would be lost, they said, General, what are the passwords? He said, victory or death. Either we're successful tonight or we all die. That's the idea of a free man. And I am a free man. So all you out there that believes that someone has to give you your freedom, you're admitting that you're a slave. If you come try to take my freedom away, God has given me the right to defend myself. And I got two things that'll get you off of me. That is Jesus and my 38. Slaves is a choice.
Unshakable with April Chapman, where we discuss all things social, cultural, political, and theological from a biblical perspective. Happy Friday, you guys. I'm so sorry, y'all. I did not drop a video yesterday. Here in Metro Atlanta, we were under a severe tornado warning. And while I do not believe, well, the tornado didn't touch ground. We did have a tree limb that kind of hit up against the house. But it's something about like that heavy rain and that tornado atmosphere. I just couldn't bring myself to record anything. I ain't even gonna lie, I sat up in here in my pajamas all day. And I was like, I'm not doing it. I don't want to. And so therefore I didn't. So I figured, I said, I owe the audience a live stream. And so here we are tonight. Welcome to all of you who are joining us on the YouTube or on Rumble or on X. Welcome to the show tonight. We've got a jam-packed show. I don't even know if we're going to get through everything tonight. And the cool thing about tonight is, y'all, I didn't even prepare the clips that we are going to discuss and react to tonight. I've got the big homie, Henry Hollywood Morris. He is joining us on tonight's live stream. You guys may have remembered him from the live stream I did last week. He is a good friend of the show. He is with the organization Support Our Shields, and he is my other brother from another mother, but the same father, but not that father. But anyway, so we're going to have Henry is going to join us. So let's get the housekeeping things out of the way. Like this video, share it with your tribe. I am actually going to be, like I said, kind of like playing co-pilot tonight. Henry has pulled these clips. I have not previewed these clips. I don't know what's going on outside of the fact that I know we are going to watch Killer Mike cry. And watching a grown man cry, you guys, unless your mama died or your child, or it's got to be a good reason for you to be up here on Al Gore's internet crying. So, without further ado, let's welcome my friend Henry. Why are you off to the left? Let's center you, sir. Move over.
Is that good?
Yes, that is much better.
That's good. Okay.
Welcome to the show. Welcome. Okay, I don't know what you heard. I'm allowed to be bootleg, okay? You can't come on the show and be bootleg. So get your whole life together over there, okay? Was that like a train whistle? What was that?
Look, you're not the only one that's been dealing with tornado warnings, and unlike most people in Florida, I do have a whole basement situation, and that is where the studio is. So I'm with you yesterday. I was shifting things myself. I'm like, we're not trying to relive the Wizard of Oz. I'm going underground.
Listen, I know that's right. Yeah, the last tornado warning we had, my mama was in the bathtub. I was like, Mama, get out the tub. She wouldn't come down to the basement with the rest of the kids. It was just seeing too much. But anyway, y'all, everybody is telling you hello in the live chat. So go ahead and say hello. What was it Scarface said? I don't know. We're about to find out. So I don't want to waste too much time. So the first thing I need to do, you set up the stage for this Killer Mike clip. What happened? Bring me up to speed. What's he crying about?
Yes, he's crying. So we're picking up basically where we left off 2 weeks ago, April, and where we left our audience, or your audience, with the live stream, was that we're at a crossroads. We're at an inflection point in the country coming out of the Karmelo Anthony case and the Rick Chow, because that are the two cases that, the Afrostocracy in the community seem to be stuck on, and they're, taking things out of context, lying. And so Killer Mike, he is just a continuation of what we've seen the past 4 to 2 weeks. And so he's crying now about the Andrew Chow case. I'm sorry, Rick Chow case in South Carolina. Now, you've covered it, on your channel. You did an amazing job, but I could not believe that it wasn't the fact that a grown man, I mean a whole grown, dusty man, was crying. It was what he was crying about. And so, I've been reaching out to you for days. I was like, I can't believe this.
Right. Actually,
we going in reverse.
I did not cover the Rick Chow case. I only did Carmelo
Oh,
Anthony. Look, it's the
gotcha.
midterms. I can only keep up with one race host at a time. Okay, I can't.
Yes, correct. And they're coming again. You frame that so right, April. It's an election year, and that explains everything you're seeing from South Carolina to Tennessee to now Mississippi. We have seen this movie before.
Right.
And it ties into the theme that you and I talked about this morning as editors. You know, what narrative is being crafted and what version of reality are these influencers and leaders promoting? And it comes back to the accountability versus victimhood. And until we get that right, April, we're going to see the same results.
Well, it's interesting. Like I said, I did not cover the Rick Chow case. However, believe
Yes.
it or not, I haven't even publicly expressed my thoughts on it, but I'm going to give y'all the cliff notes of where I stand on it. Okay. I understand Lil Buddy was in the store and Rick Chow has this history of, YNs coming in and stealing from him. Okay. I understand that. Little homie comes in, he's 14 years old, empty backpack, and he's got a gun on him. And he's looking sketchy, but he didn't steal anything. He leaves the
Correct.
store, they pursue him. He starts running, the Asian guy and the son start running to what happened to your camera feed. All right, you must got that Obama internet. It seems as if we've lost our guest. So, I don't know where Henry is, but this is what we're going to do. I'm going to finish saying what I'm saying, and then when he comes back, I will bring him back onto the live stream. So, make a long story short. Is that him? No, he'll come back. Make a long story short, Rick Chow pursues Cyrus. His last name escapes me. Had I covered it, I'd be more abreast on all of those details. According to the testimony, I understand everybody wanted to make this case about, the Asian guy shot the black boy in the back for stealing some water. That is the wrong framing. The way this case should be viewed, if your goal is objectivity and honesty, in my opinion, should Rick Chow had pursued the suspect? My opinion, I'm like, look, no, I'm trying to live to see another day. Whatever he stole, we don't know what that is. I probably would have handled it a little differently. This is just my opinion. However, once the what do you call it? The chase ensues and the young boy pulls said gun out and allegedly points at the son. At that point, we're in a different situation here. Because the law in South Carolina, they don't have degrees of murder. It's either murder or not guilty. And I understand emotionally, right? The pro-wokety woke blackety black crowd, all they see is Asian guy shoots black boy, he should be found guilty. The question that the jury had to determine without a reasonable doubt was, if young boy points gun at son, was Rick Chow, in an effort to prevent the loss of life of boy, shoots the assailant, is that murder? The witness, or should I say the evidence of this case, came out and said, no, it's not murder, this legal term. He killed him. Murder meaning malice and forethought. We were unable to prove malice and forethought because if there was malice and forethought, would he have rendered aid to the young boy? I say no. Especially, I'm not rendering aid and I ain't putting my mouth on nobody when vomit is coming out and I'm sucking vomit out and we're trying to preserve life. I understand the emotional appeal to this case of wanting to say, but he shot him and he killed him and he died. The issues that we have to separate and get our emotions out is say, forget empty bag, forget there was no water. Where we need to focus on the fact that there was a gun. Said gun was pointed at son And in an effort to preserve the life of the son, father shoots boy. Those are the facts. And in light of those facts, was it murder or was he attempting to preserve the life of this one individual? And did he shoot Lil Buddy with malice and forethought? They were unable to prove the malice and the forethought in light of all of the things that happened subsequent the shooting. Homie did have a gun. According to the testimony, he points it at the son. Aid is rendered. More aid than most people would normally do. Make every attempt, giving CPR. So I get it. My personal opinion, if I was Chow, I'm not running after you. Okay, whatever you done stole, you got it. I'm going to find another way to adjudicate the matter by using surveillance footage, by, making sure that if I see you again, we're going to have some words. I wouldn't have chased after him. But then a separate conversation that we can have is what is going on culturally and in our homes that 14-year-olds just walk inside of gas stations with empty backpacks and are armed. Like, I have a 16-year-old boy and an 18-year-old boy, and neither one of them are leaving this house to go anywhere, and it definitely ain't going with no gun. Like, we just don't live our lives with that kind of activity or it's just not in the purview. And so that is a separate question from the legalities of what has happened and the verdict. We can have a cultural conversation about 14-year-olds and guns. Like, what kind of life are you living? Where'd you get the gun? Why do you have the gun? And what was the purpose of you coming to the store with the gun and an empty backpack? Unless said empty backpack, you plan to leave with the backpack full. I'm just saying. Those are two separate discussions. One is a cultural discussion. Maybe some attempted criminality was going to take place, but it didn't. And then the other discussion is the goal to prevent the loss of life and protect another person. Young black man loses his life. And so there are multiple narratives and storylines going on here. And that's initially my take. I haven't covered this yet, but whatever happened to Henry, I don't know what happened to Henry. Let me see if Henry's texting me to see if we can get him back on the line. As of now, I have no text from Henry. Where are you? My apologies, y'all. It's a live show, so what you see is what you get. Hopefully, he'll come back on. I guess what we can do is let's go ahead and react to this first Killer Mike clip, and I'll be doing it by myself because Henry's not back yet. So let's take a look to see. Oh, and I have not seen it. I don't even know what I'm looking at. So be entertained. Be as mesmerized as I'm about to be because I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Depicts the last.
Is this the right clip? Yeah, it's the right clip.
I was beat up by a lot of the stuff that I saw. In my lifetime, I've seen a black girl be accused of stealing an orange juice and an Asian woman kill her.
Latasha Harlett.
Latasha, yeah. And I remember the world going crazy.
This grainy security camera videotape graphically depicts the last few moments of 15-year-old Latasha Harlan's life.
Store owner Soonja Du thought 15-year-old Latasha Harlins was going to steal some orange juice.
Latasha was an A student, honor roll student. She got money every week for her allowance, so she did not have to steal orange juice.
The store clerk, a Korean woman, is now in jail. The black community is outraged over the killing. The NAACP is demanding the clerk be tried for murder.
Stop killing our children! We want justice!
She got away with
murder.
I damn sure hope so, that there would be all the hell in the black community.
Somebody would care
that would stand up and
about
see
the
this
death of a
insanity
child.
for exactly what it
Murder
is.
a child.
Black people once
And walk
again
away
being unjustly treated
and
by this
stay on the street.
Get his camera on my face. Since we don't pick cotton anymore and cut sugar cane, our lives is not worth anything.
And now as a 51-year-old man, I saw a black child, South Carolina, walked out of a store. When confronted, showed I don't have anything. Chased out of that store and shot in the back and killed by a population of people who, since immigrating to this country, have quietly built the number one or two, house incomes through having ownership of stores in our community. And nothing has changed. That man was let off the case, and it just gets difficult. It gets difficult because, man, we as a people, if the world is not going to treat us differently, it starts to turn into, well, like your therapist would say, what can you control? Just yourself. Where's my accountability in this? And it's not enough to just hate the other person anymore. It's not enough to just hate the Asian store and burn them down and boycott them. And I do think all of that. I'm at a point now where I'm just like, enough.
Okay, y'all know me. I lose my train of thought real easily. So we halfway through. Let me engage with what we've seen so far. So this is Killer Mike here. Might I say those veneers look really good. Okay, I ain't hating. I'm not even trying to be funny. I am glad that he has elevated to veneer status. Those look amazing. They're not overdone. You don't look like a horse. Like, they fit your face, Mike. I like those. Okay, listen, I might be right behind you. But anyway, y'all know I'm ignorant. Let's focus here on Killer Mike's engagement and framing of two separate incidences, but he's putting emphasis on the situation with Rick Chow and the young man Cyrus. But before he talks about how he feels about Asians and this whole Rick Chow situation, he mentions an older case of a young woman being killed over orange juice. And when I first started this segment, the first thing I said was, we need to be careful of the narrative and the framing to imply that someone was just killed over orange juice or young man was just killed over a bottled water. That is a real simplistic and reductionistic way to look at it if you're trying to shape a particular narrative. And I understand the emotional pull to want to frame it that way. But something he mentioned that I want to engage with, and I have to respectfully push back, because he says, when are they going to stop killing our children? And I said, that is a very legitimate sentiment, but it's the wrong question. Like I said, there are always going to be situations where accidents happen or someone's going to make the wrong judgment call. But asking, when are they going to stop killing our children? I would frame the question and say two things. When are we going to care enough about our own children to reshape how we raise and train them and how they show up in the world, because this matters? And then two, he said, these Asians have come here and they've outpaced everybody in income, and nothing has changed, and they're still putting businesses in our neighborhood, and I'm trying to understand what that has to do with anything. But he goes, it gets difficult because of how they treat us. And I'm like, we can pull out the baby violin Killer Mike, but this is a question of culture. This is a question of, or an examination of pattern recognition. Let me give you a prime example. In one of my previous videos, I told the story of how I always teach my sons to watch out for patterns. If you see someone who's slovenly dressed, his shoes is untied, his booty hanging out and his pants is sagging, he hasn't combed his hair, right? He got his whole face is tatted up all down to his neck, whole arm sleeve. You know what I'm saying? It's 98 degrees outside. He got on a whole hoodie and a mask. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't take a rocket science to pay attention to that pattern and the way this individual is showing up in the world for you to operate from a place of prudence and wisdom to say, this dude is probably up to no good. Now, I understand people saying, I want to be judged, but the content of my character, okay, fine. The content of your character, though, on some level is going to be reflective in what you look like, meaning, how are you presenting yourself to the world? If I walk into a gas station and I have on, I don't know, the dress that I have on now, I'm clean, I'm neat, I don't smell like I've been sleeping outside, what are the chances that the clerk is going to assume that I'm coming in there to steal anything? I have a purse, I'm just picking up what I need. I go straight to the counter. Like, I don't live in this world that Killer Mike is talking about. Me, my peers, my church family, like, we don't have these kinds of problems. We just don't. And we're not trying to force the world to accept the low standards that so many people choose for themselves. We're not forcing people to accept these low standards and say, regardless of what it looks like, you shouldn't treat me the way I look. Like, you're not living in the real world. That is just not reality. It's no different than you can't show up for a job interview looking like you slept up under the bridge and just expect them to say, him show is smart, we're going to hire him. They're going to on site make an assessment about you before you open your mouth and before you show your resume. Why is this so hard for some of us to understand? And I understand bias and the stereotypes and the miscategorizations that the Asian community might have about Black folks. Listen, I get it. But I'm going to tell you something. The place where I go get my nails, they are all from Taiwan. And I'm going to just tell you something. When I come in versus when Shaquana come in, I get treated different than Shaquana. Okay? They whisper over to me while Chung Lee or whatever her name is working on my feet and the other chick is working on my nails. They lean over to me and they be like, you look so beautiful today. Oh, I love your hair. You did your own makeup. Who did your makeup? You look so pretty. I don't care if they're lying, but I don't see them whispering that over to Shaquana, who came in with the slippers on and her stomach hanging out and her hair tied up in a bonnet, coming in there demanding to have her nail repaired, okay, or 5 nails repaired when it's like, sis, you need a whole new full set. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying. I'm just laying out the facts. Certain people in our community don't have these problems that Killer Mike is talking about, because we understand the way the world works. And not only do we understand the way the world works, we know that when we show up, if you don't show up and present the best version of yourself, do not be shocked when people treat you the way you look. You have an empty backpack and you're looking sketchy. I'm not saying that the Asian guy was in the right for the pursuit. That's not my argument. My question is, we can only control what we do. So if we're not teaching our children, son, don't leave this house. It's 98 degrees outside. Why you got on this hoodie? Why are your clothes oversized? Why is your backpack empty? And why do you have a gun? Like, the way we raise, train, disciple, and shepherd our children matters. And if your children don't understand that when we go out there in that world, nobody gives a darn about, oh, you got a 4.0 GPA. That might be true, but people are going to judge you. They just are. And if you're bothered by that, then you need to go live in a world where you can wear a helmet and someone's going to protect you from the realities that exist. So I have to push back on Killer Mike talking about it gets difficult because, ain't nothing changed how they treat us. Yes, they are. They are going to treat you exactly the way you present yourself, and they recognize the patterns. They'd be stupid not to. They would be stupid to say, I know he coming in with an empty backpack, and they know they're supposed to drop it off at the front, and they didn't drop it off, and they looking like they're trying to steal something, but the opportunity has presented itself. I'm going to just act like I don't see that. We don't even treat each other like that in our own businesses when people who come in our businesses and they look sketchy. When Taekwon walk in, you already know. You don't give Taekwon the benefit of the doubt like that. So why are you expecting the Asian shopkeeper to give the benefit of the doubt? That's not realistic, and it's not the way the world works. Why is it the better conversation is, when are we going to have a conversation with our children about this subculture that they keep subscribing to, this hip hop culture? The one that Killer Mike represents. I can't name you a Killer Mike song, but I'm sorry, something about the name Killer Mike that doesn't scream peace and tranquility and just community cohesiveness. Your name, stage name, don't know your government name, is Killer Mike.
Flag on the plate.
What you want me to do with that? I'm already judging you. Like, why is your name Killer Mike? Is your heart meditating on blood? Like, what is that? Okay, so it's a pseudonym, but I mean, ain't you over 40? Ain't it time to kind of graduate from Killer Mike to maybe just Big Mike? What about Uncle Mike? I don't know. All I'm saying here is the crying that he's about to start doing is misplaced, because I don't see him shedding these tears talking to the single mamas in the community who are raising a lot of these young boys who have anger management issues, who desire to, they want to be a part of that thug life because they don't have examples in their communities or in their life or in their family to show them that this thug life is going to land you in one place, in the early grave or in prison. I'm sorry, there's two places. Where is this solemn, cry me a river, baby violin? Where is that? When are we going to have the conversation to where we're not worried about how the Asians view us, but we're more worried about how do you view yourself? Why are we not more concerned with that? Why do we have to watch press conference after press conference after press conference of somebody's mama crying, talking about my son was innocent and him didn't deserve this? And I'm like, ma'am, it is too late. There were some fundamental lessons that you were supposed to teach your boy that for whatever reason he did not get. And it's apparent that there was something on the inside of him that prompted him to satisfy all the necessary conditions to look like a thug and a criminal. And at the end of the day, based on the implications of all the context clues, it led to his demise. I am not saying that this young man deserved to die. I want to have a much more richer, much more broader conversation about what is going on in our homes or what's not going on in our homes, that the way our young men and now even our young women are showing up in the world to where they're being misconstrued, and their behavior is being interpreted as if these people are threats to me, and before I become a statistic, I'm gonna take them out before they take me out. Like I said, I go to the gas station all the time by myself. I frequent Asian establishments often, from the place I get my nails done to the local beauty supply store here. They love me. They know me by name. I tip good at the nail salon. She goes the extra 9 mile on my feet. If there's one little thing that's out of place, she's like, no, 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 no. Let me fix it. She does not want me walking out of there unless the workmanship and the craftsmanship is perfect. And it doesn't require me to go in there and show out and act a fool. I just go in there and I'm sweet. I ask her about her day. She asks me about my day. She knows when I'm going out of town. She's helping me pick out the colors based on where I'm going. Like, we're not friends, but there's this mutual respect. I respect anyone who is willing to set up and establish a business. These people work 10, 12, 16-hour days. And most of them, truth be told, do not live in our communities. They are commuting, most of them, over an hour, especially in Atlanta. The ones that own these nail shops in areas that you like, ain't no Asian people live over here. Where do y'all live? I'm on the east side of town. These people are traveling from Cumming, Forsyth County, Dahlonega. I'm like, y'all are traveling this far just to set up a business here, because the consumerism is so high that y'all are like, it's worth the hour drive. I'm not mad at them for that. But there's a way that you can't be mad at the immigrant who comes to America, the nation that is supposed to be your birthright and your American inheritance, and they set up and establish a business, and in one generation, they are not impoverished. And you've been here. You've been here for like 4 or 5 generations, and you've not yet figured out the cheat code. You know why? Because you spend too much time sitting up on the internet on a podcast crying and whining about why they treat us like this. Are you kidding me? I can't respect a grown man crying about why the Asians don't like us and why they keep treating us this way when you are unwilling and too cowardly to have this conversation with the people who look like you and call them to account and pull them by the coattails and say, no, 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 no. We don't need to be looking at what the Asians are doing or what the Hispanics are doing or what the Indians and the Arabs are doing. We need to be looking at what are we not doing. What subculture have we hitched our wagon to that causes our young people to make stupid decisions like this that end in bloodshed? See, don't nobody want to have that conversation. Because what is that I hear? That's the sound of accountability. To some of us, it's music to our ears. And the others, we just like, it's like a siren, right? Like y'all don't know if y'all seen in Greek mythology, the Odyssey. Oh, wow. Waiting for the host. I've been waiting. I don't see you, homie. Can you go back out? Go back out and come. I don't see nothing. Literally. I don't know if it's because I'm in the middle of a live stream. April, pick up the host. I don't see you here, sir. It doesn't say. I have it on. Go out. Come back in. I don't know. Yeah, like Thomas said, need to worry about the man in the mirror. Listen. One of the most difficult and hard things for any fallen son and daughter of Adam to do is to self-reflect and say, I'm the problem. Oh, it's difficult. It doesn't feel good when you have to look at all of your life choices and all of the decisions you've made and recognize that there is a common denominator in all of it. And it's like, it's you. It's you. But humility and recognizing that, or should I say recognizing our own sinfulness, forces us to do this. And for whatever reason, there's a lot of pride and a lot of entitlement and a lack of humility that comes from my kinsmen according to the flesh, because it is so much easier to point to everybody else. So I'm like, so we're the eternal victim. Is everybody else is the problem all the time? Do we ever take a moment to say, nah, this one is on us? There's a cultural problem here. And the only way we're going to fix it, because this wasn't always the case. Like we can point to a time in history when this wasn't the case. And for me, when I examine history, this was not the case when our families were stronger and when God was at the center. Before we started hitching our wagon to all these mystery religions and this African spiritualism and the ancestors, all that idolatry, we wouldn't even think about subscribing to such foolishness. Before all of that, when Mima and Papa were like, look, we've been married 111 years, and you get on my nerves, and I know I get on yours too. But this ain't about us. We got grandchildren and great-grandchildren who haven't even been born yet. And if we burn it all down, what does that mean for the rest of the ones that come after us? We got to examine that. Henry, I don't know what's going on. I'm still waiting April to figure out her whole screen. Bro, I promise you. I'm going to send you a screenshot. I'm going to send you a screenshot right now because you don't believe me. Let me send this screenshot. It literally, let me turn interview off and then turn it back on. Okay. All right. Now try to join. I promise you, because when the guest comes in, a chime goes off to let me know that the guest is here. And then I can see you. I don't see you. I don't see you. We're going to try again. I don't know. Love how this conversation is happening. Well, praise God. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Like I said, I have not previewed this clip. And see, there you go. All right. Let's do this.
Oh, so you want to lock people in the green room. That's what we're doing tonight?
I promise you, that was the first time I heard the chime and could see you. You were not there. You weren't there.
That's what happened on Friday. The
All
chat,
right.
no. I've been in the chat.
All right, so here's the deal.
Yes.
Did you want to comment on what we've heard so far from Killer Cry Me a River Mike, or do you want me to play some more?
Yeah, just one quick background for the chat tonight. And I told you it was a word I was going to introduce you to, and that term is called snakehead. And so when we think about the Hispanics and South Americans, that come across and they talk about the coyotes, bringing them across the Rio Grande.
Right.
Well, for Chinese, is snakehead. So literally what they do is they come on tankers, and they're not guests. They're hiding in the cargo. They're being smuggled in. From Shanghai to Seattle, that's 2 weeks on a tanker, using the bathroom and eating and living in a shipping container.
Hold on.
And these
Before
people
you
are
say
that
anything
determined.
else,
Yes.
if you're willing to go through all of that,
Correct.
get it out the mud, homie. You can come.
They don't respect you. The crying, they don't respect it. Don't respect it. And they have to pay, just like the Latino community pays the coyotes. They have to pay those snakeheads. So it's ran by the triad, the Chinese mafia. This is every day for these people. And you think that they care about you being here 6, 7 generations and talking about you can't get ahead?
No,
they don't respect you.
Better you than me. Listen, and you know what's so sad, Henry? People think because I'm a conservative that I am anti-immigrant, and that is not true. I am anti-illegal immigrant, but I have a great deal of respect for the immigrant. Like, English is my first language. I went to South Korea and spent 21 days in South Korea as a teenager, couldn't speak the language, and I was about to go crazy. Outside of Yoboseyo and Kamsamida, I ain't know nothing. And I said, the fact that if you can come to America and not know the language and have to figure your way around, be educated, and just do the basics, there's no excuse for the American, the Black American born here. I'm tired of your excuses, because you have the same opportunities as everyone else, and they can come over here with a suitcase and the coat on their backs and figure it out, and you can't. And you want respite? No, you don't get no respite, and you sure don't get no respect. You're muted. You're not muted, but your mic is just not responding. No, we can't hear you. Nathan! We can't hear you. Oh, gosh. What's going on with your audio? Who? Just play it? Okay. He wants us to play the clip. We're going to go and play the clip.
We can't fuck with y'all. Y'all don't fuck with us, and it's obvious. And we are put in a position by a bigger master to be taught not to fuck with each other.
Oh, whoa. Okay. First of all, I didn't know that he was gonna be dropping F-bombs, so I apologize. Okay, y'all know.
He's Killer Mike.
There you go. I'm not advocating for those types of expletives, but it's 9:27, so the baby should be in bed. But we don't F with y'all. Oh, so are they supposed to cry over that? Like, nobody cares. And then to say a bigger master, wait, what?
Yeah. He's building that Marxist. He's building that Marxist sermon. He think he cooking.
A master. The fact that someone can fix their lips to identify another fallen image bearer as a master. I told y'all this Black inferiority, it always tells on itself. The only way you can acknowledge the category of some master or white supremacy is you got to have Black inferiority. You have to take the subordinate position. And by the looks of all this whining and crying and complaining, Exhibit A.
Exhibit A. Yes. Who installed you, son?
Listen, let's continue.
So you as the model minority always see us as beneath you. And yet you need us because you could never put a store in the master class's neighborhood.
True.
Throw the flag. Throw the flag, ref.
Flag on the plate.
Actually, that's not true.
Complete lie.
Asians put nail salons. Actually, it's actually safer for them to put the nail salon and the med spas and stuff in the areas where it's not a lot of us. Now, from a revenue perspective, we consume more, so they'll make more money. But then they have to do the risk assessment. How many times somebody gonna break in, try to steal our stuff? Do we got to add extra layers of security? We got to put bars on the windows. The insurance premium is higher. Sometimes it ain't worth
Facts.
it. But at least I give
Facts.
them credit. They'll take the risk. They're like, look, we going to go in there and we going to make $1 out of 15 cents. And the chance, we probably going to get robbed about 4 times this year. So we could just put in reserve, right? We already know the premiums are going to go up. Perhaps instead of filing a claim, we'll eat those losses and pay for that ourselves and save the insurance for the big stuff, like the riots and when they want to burn it down.
Burn it down, right. And another part, April, is remember you said earlier to the audience, your encounters at the spa and at the nail salon. So you have to take into account why he's blaming them.
Your audio cut out again. It cut out again. What in the world is going on? Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be funny, but think about it. It is expensive to operate a small business where the demographics is more of us than it is them. And you can go into affluent white neighborhoods. You can go into middle class white neighborhoods. They have nail salons there. And his argumentation is like, well, they can't make money without us. I mean, you the eternal victim. So, let truth be told, how many black women do you know go to black nail techs? Like, if the problem is the Asian, when are you going to dominate the industries where they dominate, prove yourself, and then steal the market share from them? Oh, that's a thought. That is a thought. But that's going to require us to do some work. At the end of the day, the melanated-minded Marxist Negro that lives in a capitalist society but functions like a socialist and a communist, none of what I'm saying makes sense to him. Because, see, Killer Mike lives his personal life as a capitalist. But the rhetoric that he preaches and espouses to the people who are willing to listen to him is absolutely socialistic and communistic. And this why it doesn't work anywhere. Okay, let me mute you till y'all get your life together. I don't know what's happening with Henry over in the studio. But anyway, this is sad. To talk about the master class, and when I listen to people like Killer Mike talk, and they're always talking about how racist white people are, and I'm like, are you listening to yourself? This is the black supremacist rhetoric. Because to speak so flippantly about the master class and listen, I get it. Black inferiority is real, but do you have to be so blatantly obvious with it? Like, do you not? Why would you be so willing to give up this much ground? Are you back? Let's try it. I had to mute you, Henry. All right, I hear you now. Say something.
Oh, there's a minor hurricane sound like it's going on outside. So it's like...
Lord, mercy.
So, it's good to be underground, but
well,
yeah.
if you have to, let me know. If you lose your signal, we'll just...
I brought Chris and them down into safety here, so I'm like, we'll just stay down here tonight. That's what you got a generator for.
We'll just pray.
Thank you.
Let's let him cook. I'm interested in seeing where he's gonna go with this.
Yes.
And if we won't unite against them,
we won't unite for ourselves.
Yeah, but if we won't unite, I mean the Asians and blacks against the master class, then we can no longer fuck with y'all.
Wait, he got tears in his eyes. Him crying.
You ain't no killer.
Oh no, Killer Mike is crying because the Asians don't want to
Won't
unite with the
unite with us
blacks
against the white folks.
against the master class. Boy, I know you smoking weed. He got to be high, Henry. He got to be high. You done called me everything but a child of God. Talking about you won't F with us. And
Right.
then you crying because we won't unite
won't
with y'all against the
white
master
folks.
class. What?
I don't, April, he may not be high here, but this is too many brain cells lost from years of substance abuse.
That's that.
Marxist indoctrination.
Why would anybody do that? Why? Explain to me why me as an Asian person would unite with the blacks when I'd be like, sir, you must don't understand the incompatibility of our cultures to think that that could possibly make sense. First of all, why is the assumption that white people are the problem? What has the white man done other than civilize this nation to that you get to enjoy? You get to enjoy the fruit of the civilization that listen, the Brits who came over here, and then in one generation we could officially call them the American. It's something about the American that we're just built different. Like George Washington and all them dudes was just built different. I'm sorry.
Facts.
You ain't got to like them, but you need to be grateful and thankful for them. They were built different. The bravery, the valor, the ability to tell King George, who was miles away across the ocean, I can show you better than I can tell you. You're going to have to come kill us because we free. Like they just asserted their freedom. So I'm trying to understand what would make you think that the Asians have any interest in uniting with the blacks against white people?
I can answer that. Because in his melanated Marxist worldview, he's thinking of China and the Maoist. So he thinks that since we're oppressed and the Red Revolution, we are on the same team, not realizing that the Chinese immigrants here, they know what that looks like. See, he's a capitalist in his lifestyle and a Marxist in his mindset, but he don't want to live like one.
No.
So that hypocrisy, April, they don't respect. And they damn sure don't respect the crying. But he can't grasp that.
I can't get over the crying. Sir, you need to pull this video.
He's going to cry more.
He need to pull this video, the whole podcast. I'd be like, if I was those other black men in that room, I'd be like, Mike, we can't put this up. Like, we can't. Like, how you want...
It's going to get worse. Hey, the audience needs to see. Come on, show him. Let him go.
Because
was that a quiver?
It's just not working.
Was that a lip quiver and a voice tremble?
Yes.
Mike, let me tell you something. I bet not ever see you around here. Look, this your town. You A-town strong. I'm a transplant, okay? You making the A look bad. That was a lip quiver and a tremble.
It's not going to get any better.
As a female, I can't. I'm going to play.
It's not working where you can hunt down a child and they let you get away with it 2 times in my lifetime. We could be finding you.
No. I believe in eye for eye, though.
We should be doing. I'm saying what we're gonna do.
Meaning the thought comes up.
I am aware of the Arab struggle and the Palestinian struggle because in my lifetime,
throw the flag.
I have seen
flag on the plate.
You just heard that.
This man sitting up here look like he got Vicks under his eyes.
So
Boy,
wait a minute. Now let's bring in the Palestinians. Does the chat see where this is going?
Y'all, am I being mean?
You're being real.
Am I being mean?
This is insanity. I'm sorry. she having a hot flash off of it.
I just had coffee.
Look, wait, it's going to get worse.
It can't.
I promise you. Oh, yes, it can. Next line, I guarantee.
I shan't not allow it. I
How
won't.
Charles Barkley said, I guarantee. Let him talk.
I have to protect this man from the embarrassment that's about to happen.
He did this. How much a Grammy nomination worth to you?
Did he mention the Palestinians?
And yes, he did. He's setting it up. He's setting up his point. Let him make his point, April Chapman.
Men strap bombs to themselves to say you will pay this attention. And I'm telling this country, you're coming to a point of crisis with a group of people who, right or wrong, we're here. We're part of the fabric. We have nowhere else to go. But if you're training groups of people...
I told y'all it would get worse, did I not?
Right or wrong, we're here. So basically, it don't matter what we do. You just need to deal and accept our dysfunction. And it's to the point now, like, I can't tell if he was trying to imply like the Palestinians who's strapping bombs to themselves, like you gon' see us?
Yes.
Is he implying that we need to do that?
That in order for our oppressed plight to be taken serious by the master race or the master class, he said.
This dude is hustling, y'all.
Exactly.
There's no way he really believes this.
I told you how much is a Grammy nomination worth.
This man reads too much to honestly believe this as a deeply held presupposition. Henry, I refuse. I reject.
I don't argue your point, but it's, again, who's in his ear telling him to dance? That's the question. Exactly. Because I'm like, that pencil is all the way probably in your stairwell. You don't throw in that pen so far. But yes, that he literally, you did hear him say what he said and justify strapping bombs. Mind you, these people literally pray to a demon and then go and kill innocent people. And that's what he says that he can tie to the black oppression in America. He literally said that out of his mouth.
He's a communist. This is how communists speak.
Absolutely.
Do you guys, when I told y'all that we were in a smokeless war and that the civil rights operation of the 1960s was the flashpoint of where all these melanated minded Marxist Negroes were basically given power by way of the Democrat Party to bring America down from the inside out. And now we have the fruit of this.
Yes. And this is phase 3. We're in phase 3 of this. And so he has to do this, April, again, if he believes it or if he is a well-paid plant. Either way, he is running a playbook.
Right. Either way. Let me grab this super chat really quickly. Shout out to Brother Lamont. Thank you so much for this super chat. He said, flag on the play. I say, Lamont, bro, can you believe this? There's a whole grown man that sat up here and cried real tears unprovoked.
A grown man that's half a century.
And then wiped his face like the 5-year-olds do.
Yes. But you don't remember April 6 years ago when you had grown Hall of Famer, NFL Hall of Famers, and NBA Hall of Famers on sets on ESPN crying Randy Moss up there. We're running out of time. That's what this is.
I remember that. I've met
LeBron
Randy Moss
James
before.
crying.
We can't come back from this. You can't. What do you do if the male species of an ethnicity, if this is what we see, and y'all doing this out in the public? One, are you shocked that women don't respect you? And two,
Bingo.
are we shocked that our families are broken and weak? I got to sit
It's
up here and
down.
rub your back and be like, it's all right, babe. Let it out. No. Is it a wonder
Masculine.
our young boys don't have emotional regulation? One, because the men who are supposed to be training them in manhood and the way the world works are out here crying on the internet.
Correct. Masculine orangutans and beta men.
No, I have a term for them, but I can't use it.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
I'll use a sanitized version of what
Okay.
You have the orangutans, you have the pavement apes. This is the ninja Nazi. This is a ninja Nazi. Where's the lie?
I wasn't ready.
And I ain't gonna say it, but that's the sanitized version.
Yes.
Y'all can add that to the
Bye-bye.
lexicon. I've been holding on to that one for 24 months. I was like, nah, they ain't ready for this one.
Where's Amethyst?
I'm gonna be on church discipline. They gonna call the elders, talk about April out here. She using the N-word. So
Yes.
I didn't. I said, this is your ninja Nazi.
Yes. Yes. And when we go to the response to this, April, one of the biggest problems is so much of what Mike said, he's in his feelings and it's not even based. He has said so many incorrect things from this case that it's ridiculous. And
Right.
the case was televised.
That's how I know either one of two things is happening. Either he's being paid to parrot this narrative, or he really struggles with category distinctions and is unable to parse through the facts from his emotions. Like, the men in our community are supposed to be able to sit back and help us, the women, say, babe, I know you're in your
Yes.
feelings because the 14-year-old
Yes.
was shot in the back, but we got to look at the facts. You got to move your emotions out of this, and let's look at what actually happened here, and let's look at the charge. We understand the young man was killed, but there is a legal definition for murder, and do the
Yes.
facts satisfy the necessary conditions for us to call it that? And the
Yes.
only way to do that, listen, I'll be the first one to say that Lil Buddy's son, the little Asian son, was a horrible witness. I was like, who put this boy up on the stand?
Yes.
He wasn't a good witness. But
Yes.
even in light of all of that, based on the facts and how they were charged, first of all, I don't believe they should have charged Chow with murder.
That was the first mistake.
They were overzealous, trying to give the pro-wokity-woke, blackity-whack blacks their
Bingo.
Barabbas. They should have charged him properly. And because they
Yes.
improperly charged him, they went for murder. They went for the gusto.
Yes.
Well, now you
Yes.
got not guilty.
Yes. And I believe I think that's the end of him, April, but the follow-up is going to go into detail of that.
Okay, let me go on and
Let
go
him
and
go
grab that.
recompose himself so he can stop crying. But yes, now this is Rick Chow's lawyer. And let him break down. Now, you just heard Mike speaking for the community.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the feelings.
Right.
Now how about the facts?
Let's deal with the facts, fam. Ooh, that's a long clip. What you want me to do with 13 minutes?
Oh.
That's a lot. Okay, I got somewhere to be tomorrow, so...
play the man.
Let's play it.
Because people get it so twisted. They're like, oh, you guys going to lie. One, I'll lose my damn bar license if I lie, and there ain't not a damn client in the world who's worth lying for. I'm not going to do it. And so I always tell people, and I charge a significant amount of money, and I tell them, if you're going to lie to me, what's the point of me paying this information? Like, why lie to me if you're paying me all this money to help you? And two, I'm not going to take money if I can't help you. And so one of the reasons I always like at the beginning is because when I got involved in this case later than everybody else, and they bring me in for a trial, and I said, look, it is not, and I know I don't want to mess myself up. It is not realistically what happened. It's what the evidence can show.
Right.
And so what I wanted to make sure is that he actually had a triable case based upon the evidence, because I'm not taking money if I can't help him. So let's say for argument's sake, I go and look at the medical examiner. The medical examiner says, that is impossible. No matter what he is telling you, that shot came straight from the back from a direct. That's a different angle. I'm like, look, that can't happen. What people don't realize, I mean, I was going to draw a little picture, but what people don't realize is the shot, Brandon, came from right to left, slightly upward, back to front. And why that's important is everybody's saying back. It's really a flank shot, as you know the difference. So there's a difference between a back and there's a difference between a flank. And medical examiners are usually reluctant to say back because it has such a bad connotation. It's really a flank shot, and we talked about it. So for people looking, the shot is going from right to left, which would support the human body turning slightly this way. And if there's one person in the front, someone behind them, and somebody facing this way, it would support a right to left shot. And so Rick Chow's, whether people like it or not, his accounting of what happened on the 911 call, the body cam, and to me, all supported what the evidence will say.
Yeah.
People don't want to hear that, but it supports the evidence. And yeah, I think I'm a pretty damn good trial lawyer, but I'm only as good as what the evidence is going to show. If I'm sitting up there lying and I look like a liar, the jury's going to convict me. And so it was supported by the evidence, whether people agree with me or not. At one point in time, they put on a body cam of Rick Chow. And one of the officers walk up to Rick Chow, and this is so important. They walk up to Rick Chow and they ask him what happened. So Rick Chow is talking to one officer, and you know how body cams work. So there's two officers sitting right there talking to him at the same time. Officer one, tell me what happened. Rick Chow said, I was what I told you. And he said it. We chased this kid out of the store. We thought he had stolen something. We were following him. He ends up picking up, my son Andy said, help, he saw a gun. And then he says, I didn't see the gun initially. Now, when he said initially, the officer walked away, okay? And another officer was sitting there.
Officer one.
That's the only, the prosecution put in that body cam and stopped. Then they asked the officer, did he ever tell you that he had pointed a gun or he saw a gun pointed? And that officer said, no, he never said that to me. And they stopped. Well, the problem is the second half of that video from the officer's camera went, I did not see a gun initially. However, when I looked up again, I saw him pointing a gun at and he tells the rest of the story. The prosecution didn't put in the rest of that video on purpose. I had to call the other cop all the way from like 3 hours away, put him on the stand and play the rest of it. If you would have seen that jury's face.
Oh my.
And so for people who are saying, Brandon, we had 5 black folks on the jury, 2 minorities. So there were 7 minorities on the jury. And if you know black folks, they can't stand someone trying to run a trick. There was one sister on the jury, when we put the rest of it, she said,
she like, I know you lying. Right. Go ahead, Henry. Take it away.
And so this is why context and facts are so important. This man went and crashed out and cried over something that literally does not match the case that was televised. And what Sean is referring to, Sean Kent, is that investigator who he cross-examined and he exposed him. This dude might, I'm surprised he hasn't been disciplined, from his department for this, because At that point, he goes on, like he knew he had them against the ropes. Why would you intentionally leave out very important video evidence only to frame the case in a way that you wanted it framed?
Because they couldn't defend. They knew that the evidence did not support the narrative that they were pushing, so they just left it out. And a good defense attorney, a good trial lawyer is going to be like, well, wait a minute. He's like, no, we need to tell the whole story. So here's the message that I would leave. I mean, I can't even call you Killer Mike anymore in good faith. Okay, I can't. We gonna call you Mike. The message I want to leave for Mike is facts don't care about your feelings. Okay,
They do not.
The crocodile tears, you rubbing your eyes like a toddler, looking like you got Vaseline smeared all over them. I need the men of our community. We will not be able to move forward sober-minded and full of wisdom with discernment if the men in our community are emotional like this. If the men in our community are unable to take the reins and say, no, we're going to set the tone of the community. We're going to be the ones that listen. We want to deal with righteousness and facts and truth. And we understand the emotional element that comes in. We all grieve for the mom who lost her son too. But what we cannot do is allow our emotions to cloud our judgment to where we're not dealing in good faith with facts.
Correct.
And I blame this on the matriarchal squalor. All these generations of bastards raising bastards.
That's where I was going.
Our men don't know how to think anymore because they're too busy whining and crying.
Correct. I'm like, this is 6 decades, April, in the making. And that's why we're here. But watch what else has happened.
You want me to play it?
Yes.
Because I think people just assume there's just like, Mr. Chow didn't deserve a good defense, but those are stupid people because if they're going to do it to him, they're going to do it to yo down the road. And so you want to challenge the state, and you're a cop, you want to challenge them to make sure they do it right. There are good cops, there are bad cops. There are good lawyers, there are bad lawyers. And you want to whoop a bad cop's ass the same way you want to celebrate a good cop. Yep. And so to me, sorry to be long-winded, that one thing right there, that little hiding the evidence, because we talked to some of the jury, and nobody knows that until I'm telling you this right now, but we talked to some of the jury, and they were pissed that the state was hiding evidence.
There it goes. Oh, it cut out for a little bit. Hold on.
One guy.
Oh, I'll tell you.
Is this normal?
Hold on.
And
good cops, there are bad cops.
No,
and you want to whoop a bad.
That is so clear. And then they had some people that they brought to the stand that you cross-examined. I think one of them was a detective. And I think you had asked him a question of,
God rest his soul, because he died on that stand.
Because I was shocked that he said what he said. I think it was you because you were off camera. But
I know exactly what it is. But
mentioned.
Huh?
I don't know if you caught this part when you were watching the trial. Let him go.
I didn't watch the trial.
Okay.
You were like, is
check
this
normal?
Out. Is this okay? Like, would you do this? And he was like, yeah. What?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're presenting to a jury that you would illegally carry a firearm into the store as a 14-year-old boy, and that stealing or whatever he was doing with Waters and running is all normal, based on like where you come from. And it was another witness that did the same thing, and he was trying to save face for the kid, I think, and he was like, yeah, it depends. Like you go in the store without money, or you said a gun to the one guy.
Oh, I'll tell you. I said, would you go and do you find it normal? And so let's back up. So what the question was to us is we thought, and mind you, we had a lot of stuff we could have hurt that young man on and didn't want to do it. I didn't want to turn the case into he was a bad kid. I didn't want to. But I wanted the jury to understand the following, because everybody was trying to make the case about he stole a bottle of water.
Right.
And he didn't. To us, the case wasn't about stealing the bottle of water. The case was about he was in there acting suspicious And whether you like it or not, and I know Mama looked like menace to the society watching his ass. You buy. She was watching.
Hurry up and buy.
But he was suspicious. And anyone who owns a store, anyone who's been in.
What did I say about the pattern recognition?
Yes, and I promise the chat, April has not seen this. You have not seen
I've never
any of
seen
this.
it. I told you, I said this case is not about him just got shot and he for
Correct.
stealing some water. I said, no, that's not what this case is about.
Correct.
It can't be that. It's not. I said it is fundamentally the argument that needs to be that once the chase ensued, if he pulls out that gun and he's pointing it at the son, at that point, it is the father's duty to protect the loss of life of his son from this perpetrator.
Yes.
Now, we can bring in the facts about why you in the store with an empty backpack and looking sketchy, but
Correct.
that's not what the case was about.
Absolutely.
All right, let's let him finish. I want to hear what he's going to say here.
Yes, this is powerful.
And the reason he was suspicious is less than 24 hours earlier, he's pointing a damn tech at a screen with a laser on it.
Yeah.
He goes into the store with an empty book bag, no money, no ability to pay, no cell phone to pay. He has a gun with a bullet in the chamber, and he's walking into the store. And when I asked this officer, in the course of your investigation, would you not look into a shoplifting or something to say something looks suspicious? And that's when he says, no, there's nothing suspicious. I would have done that. I'm like,
no. See, that's what I said. I said, I have never gone into a gas station with no money. No one
Correct.
does that unless you like, look, I ain't got no money, but I'm about to come out with something. And the only way you're going to do that is if you're going in there to steal. I mean, what, you just sightseeing? You know, they didn't replace that linoleum. I'm glad, because, you know, it was looking.
I came in there to spread the gospel. No, you did not.
No different than my sons. We don't go into establishments with no money. You don't even have a phone where you could tap to pay, and your book bag's empty. You got a bullet in the chamber.
Correct.
And then the day before, you're taking pictures, this the Killer Mike thug life mentality that I want to talk about. I'm like, you out here whining and crying about what the Asian community is doing, but you've said nothing about the fact that your stage name is Killer Mike.
Correct.
That our young people are emulating this thug thizzle hip hop culture behavior, and it's causing them to lose their life over it because they're walking in the way of Cain. They're not trying to emulate. They're not walking around with quarter zips and khakis and asking, you know, no sir, yes sir, how you doing, ma'am? Can I get the door for you? Like, we wouldn't be having this conversation if the conversation surrounding this subculture that we've ascribed to us, we wouldn't be having this conversation if our young people were aspiring to do different things. Hear me clearly. Asians have their Asian gang culture. Mexicans got their Mexican, the Trende Araguas. We have all of these other ethnicities that have their subcultures. But why is it that our subculture is the prevailing culture, is the dominant culture?
And they also have not made an industry and a movement off of excusing said behavior of subculture and then using it to acquire political power. Why is it, does anybody not recognize or question, April, that you're talking about the ethnic group with the lowest out-of-wedlock birth rate, but has the highest household income, and we are just the opposite?
And
but
nobody's making a connection.
Right. Mind you, what is the leading cause of death for the chat? What is the leading cause of death for a black male 14 to 45?
Is it homicide?
Homicide. There is no other ethnic group in this nation that is the reality for.
And it ain't Asians doing all the homicide.
Exactly.
It's the YNs, Killer Mike.
But Killer Mike couldn't stop crying long enough to point that why isn't he crying over that?
I get it.
Because statistically, if that took him 2 hours on that podcast, in that time in this country, you had already had 6 black males in that age range that had been shot. This is every day.
Have mercy. This was a good clip. Let's let it play some more.
Yes.
What?
You would have gone into a store with a loaded firearm illegally with an empty book bag and no money to pay? Yes, sir.
Done.
But we try so hard to win, we forget our job is about justice.
Yes.
Because they don't want justice.
Correct.
Justice, biblical justice requires righteousness.
Absolutely.
And when you walk in darkness, rather than the light. Why? Because your deeds are evil.
Dark. Correct.
What's that, John 7?
While you're pulling it up, April, to sum it up, we cannot demand fair treatment from the world if we refuse to demand truth from ourselves.
You preaching.
You can't do it.
Nope.
You can't do it. You gotta be able to hold. I mean, me and you've been doing this whole Michael Jackson analogies for the past 2 months. And it's like, when are we gonna look at the man in the mirror?
We don't want to.
We don't. But listen, this has been since the fall in the garden up until now, where we got, in our present day, the world's first trillionaire. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
I found it. It's John 3. We love John 3:16, don't we? well, why can't we just scoot down? Like, I love John 3, the whole chapter, but let's just scoot down to verse 19.
Slide on down a little bit. Yes.
And this is the judgment. The light, which is Jesus, has come into the world, and people loved the darkness rather than the light because their works were evil. For everyone who does wicked things hates the light and does not come to the light, lest his works should be exposed. But whoever does what is true comes to the light, so that it may be clearly seen that his works have been carried out by God.
Amen.
Just like this lawyer said, you want so bad to win that you forget.
Right.
We have a job here in this court to enact justice.
Correct.
And biblical justice, as defined by the scriptures, is not where we excuse and turn a blind eye to sinfulness and wrongiousness. Such
because
as,
they look like us.
He should. If you're a police officer and you get on the stand and you testify and say those things, you should lose your job.
That's what I said. You gotta see where he. Right. I said you gotta see where he's gonna go with this. What he's gonna share, April.
Okay, let's play it.
He's not done.
That's what, and I'm the one getting beat on. I'm the one getting the death threats, and I'm the Uncle Tom. I'm like, aren't you more worried that a cop is willing to get on the stand and throw his character away just to get a conviction because social media wants it, as opposed to we just want the demand for justice?
Yeah, if the roles were reversed, man, and it was a Chinese kid that was shot by a black man, people would be outraged that the prosecution would bring a witness or a law enforcement officer would flat out lie and be deceptive and dishonest. Like, when he said that, I was like, there's no way the jury is not believing that he lost all his credibility. This is a law enforcement officer who's saying that it's okay to commit a crime.
He is I'm going to tell you, good cop, good guy, good human. I've talked to him since. Now, on the stand.
Why did he do that? Was he trying to save face, or did he? What was he thinking? Like, he could you had him in a trap. It wasn't even a real trap. It was like he could have just said,
it wasn't like it wasn't some Wile E. Coyote like advanced trap. Like, it was just
he could have just said, no, I would not do that, but that does not necessarily mean they knew this at the time that the incident happened. But
I'm not even about to give you that. No,
exactly.
In no world, people who operate in good faith do that. Where do they do that?
Where are you going to Publix in Narnia? I'm like, this is not, like you said, this is reality. This ain't the Matrix. So no, you don't go into a store with a loaded gun with a bullet cocked in the chamber and with a book bag and no wallet and no phone.
You know what I realized? He asked, why would he do that? The only justification, or in my opinion, cowardice. You are so afraid of the mob, the pro-wokety woke, blackety black woke mob, and you're a coward that instead of standing on what is right and what is true, and giving an honest testimony, you got folks out here thinking that as a law enforcement officer that you thought it was prudent, just, and wise. They be like, yeah, I mean, I would do the same thing.
I walk around. I think it's normal for a 14-year-old. We know he didn't purchase the gun, so it wasn't his, to walk around with that. Yeah, April.
Somebody was asking in the chat, was this cop who testified, was he of black ethnicity?
Yes. And he had an attitude on top of it. I'll send you the whole. I'll send you the whole. His part on his testimony on the stand. Yes.
Y'all gonna be mad at me for saying this, but I don't care. These blacks is dishonest. These blacks are dishonest. Not y'all blacks. Not us blacks. Them blacks. Why you can't defend that? Come on. Do y'all see what I said? This ethnic tribalism is blinding.
Correct.
It will have you
there
out
it is.
here co-signing
lying and crying.
You are co-signing to the deeds of the devil, all because you want to stand in solidarity with your people.
Yes. There is no legitimate class, course in any police academy he wouldn't have got ran out of if he stood on the podium and said what he said on that witness stand.
That is awful.
Think about that. So you're willing to put your career and your reputation on the line because you look like me.
Listen.
The devil is a lie.
Y'all know why I'm so hard on the blacks? I'm hard on the blacks just like I'm hard on my children. Yes. Because I love my children. And my job as their parent, their mother, is to train them and raise them in the fear and admonition of the Lord. And I am held accountable for all that I impart to them and don't impart to them. And because I love them enough to tell them the truth, and I don't want to lead them into a pit. Yes. In the same way, how can you claim that you are so pro-black and you love your people, and you won't even look them in the eye and tell them the truth to be like, this is trifling behavior. This is demon behavior. Yes. You just out here on the lying like this. This is what we doing.
Yes. And so let me give you my perspective, sis. It's that, I mean, as my apparel will show you now, I am American. Right. Like you said, this is my birthright. I love this nation. I'm not crying like Killer Mike saying, well, where we gonna go? Now, mind you, you had the preacher apostate last week talking about we need to go back to Africa and drain the resources. And this week you got another member of the Afro-Stockers talking about where we gonna go? Okay, well, if you police yourself and you have accountability and integrity, that wouldn't be a problem.
Well, did you look at that? So just some self-regulation, right?
Because these are the same people, April, that then cry about food deserts and pharmacy deserts, and we don't have resources, and y'all don't see it's the crying again. Everything, Walgreens need to be ashamed of themselves and justify stealing. Well, people need bread.
No, they need toothpaste and pregnancy tests and stuff. Right. So y'all couldn't put up more bars? You know what it is? It's entitlement. And y'all ain't gonna like this. It's that plantation mentality. Think about it. If you've been on a plantation your whole life and you used to the master providing food, providing you, it's
shelter.
It's that itchy burlap clothing, but it's clothing, right? Mm-hmm. You didn't have to earn it. He just give it to you. He provides you everything you need. The moment you are forced to go off the plantation and fend for yourself, you're entitled.
Nothing's guaranteed now.
When we was at the master's house, at least we had a little cornbread, little ham hock, every now and again. They can't. You see what I'm saying? It's a plantation mindset.
April.
And they call us the sellouts and the Uncle Toms?
That projection, that's where I was going. Because
You
you know
can't
what,
be
Moses?
serious.
You should have left us back in Egypt where at least we had meat. But you don't brought us out here to die.
God done brought you to the promised land. You done walked across the Red Sea on dry land. You seen the pillar of fire by day. Or was it night? When was the fire? In the day or the night? I don't know, but you seen it. Did you seen it? You seen the mighty works of God and have the nerve to now you see Pharaoh's chariots coming to talk about, you know, you done led us
You
out
brought
here.
us out here to kill us.
You better stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. What's wrong with you ninjas? Are you kidding me?
I like my chains.
This is why I said, I told y'all if I ever get the opportunity to talk to Trump, I'd be like, don't give him nothing.
Damn that platinum plan.
Give them
Don't need
nothing.
that.
You've
Right.
done enough.
Right.
Because they will never be satisfied. Why? Because King told them to not be satisfied. Because,
Exactly.
100 years after the
And the
Emancipation
Negro
Proclamation
still isn't free.
not free. You're right. Because they psychologically are bound.
Yes.
And until you are free in Jesus, you're going to stay that way.
All of this, thank you. Exactly.
You're going to stay that way. Do you see why now I say my people are the ones
The ones
who do
that do the will of my Father.
And hear us clearly.
Say it.
When people hear people like me and Henry say, please keep your black card because the credit limit is low anyway.
Bingo.
What we're saying is that we don't deny these existential realities of us being melanated and made in the image of God and being, actually, black is not even an ethnicity. There's no nation of black, okay? It's not. We're the nation of black. Who's in charge? Who's the prime minister? What's his national flag?
Umar Johnson is working on that April at that school.
There's no such thing as the nation of black, but for the purposes of this conversation, when we slide that black card across the table, we're not saying that we're not black Americans. What we are saying is we do not subscribe to that subculture of blackness that comes with the sex savagery and the secularism and the victimhood and the whining and the crying and the complaining. I don't know nothing about that.
Correct.
I'm an American
Correct.
Negro. Okay? And I don't, sadly, for the community to claim that we're the sellouts, isn't it funny that we don't want nothing from the white man? I don't want nothing from him. You ain't got to give me nothing. I will get it out the mud myself.
My pronouns are leave me alone.
Listen, keep your hands off my guns, okay?
Bingo.
And leave me alone. I just want you to keep these roads paved and make the trains run on time. That's it.
I'm good.
Outside of that, I don't want nothing from you. But it's
I have one, April, but it's going to be the final video. I do have one other request, like you said. Roads, trains. I got one request. We'll get to it at the end, though.
Oh, okay.
Remember
so
that.
Do we need to finish this clip?
Yeah. There's about, I think, 2 minutes. He's going to tell you what he's been through with the backlash.
Okay.
Do you want that?
This is not right to do. I would not do this. He should follow the law. He could say all that, and his credibility is there. His argument was that, but they didn't know it at the time. And I thought that was a good rebuttal. But dude, when you just flat out act like a criminal activity as a law enforcement officer is totally normal, it was gone. It was over for him.
But if you watch the case, you also saw, you called it. They did 2 witnesses, him and the other one. And you remember they kept trying to make it normal for young black men to have guns in our community. I was so
See what Killer Mike said, April?
As a human.
No, tie that into, what did Killer Mike say?
Killer Mike said this. He said that the kid he had a gun for his protection. He wasn't trying to resist the state.
Protection from who? Oh, I know. Is it Taquation?
He is.
My sons don't leave this house and say, "Oh snap, I forgot my 9mm." Like,
Right.
now I do. When I get,
Yes.
okay, like I always keep, but that's different.
Correct.
Well, I've never been in a confrontation, but these people crazy around here, and I talk too much trash on the internet to not be strapped. Okay, so, but I'm talking like 14-year-olds. If Killer Mike's argument is that he needed that gun for protection, who is he hanging out with and where is he going that needing a gun is such an imminent threat? And this is someone who is a 2A advocate.
Yes.
Absolutely. I am pro Second Amendment. Keep guns and keep lots of them. But I contextualize that against the backdrop of adults, right?
Yes.
Who are not walking with backpacks that are empty, looking sketchy.
Yes. Yes, correct. And again, that we would try to justify this for the sake of blackness is the crisis point. Let him go.
Yeah, this, I don't. Somebody said, April, you don't live in an impoverished area. You don't know where I live. I grew up in the hood. How many pissy mattresses you done jumped on? How many staircases with boo-boo slapped upside the wall that you have to walk through every day? Now, I don't live like that now, but I mean, listen, the east side of Atlanta ain't Shady Grove. The YNs done made their way out here. And so is the argument that because you live in an impoverished area, therefore 14-year-olds need guns? Hood chick
That's
here.
a bad argument.
I grew up in the hood during the crack epidemic. I'm talking on my way to school. Let me show you the sights and sounds of what I saw. Crack vials of all rainbow colors, purple tops, red tops, yellow tops. Condoms still filled with human excrement. Lots of those. I was just like, what are these balloons? I'm 9.
Lord,
I learned real quick. One of my friends was like, those are not balloons. Well, what is it? Then they told me. I'm like, oh, ew. I'm talking, my mother, we had assigned parking spots in our high-rise building, right? Where my mother used to park, the prostitutes from Hunts Point would park in my mother's spot, do their business with their John, and then leave the evidence right there. We get up for church that Sunday morning, my mother goes, condoms all in her parking spot. And she just like, baby, don't look. I'm like, these people are disgusting. I'm telling you, I made up my mind real early. I've got to get out the hood. I was like, I can't live like this. This is not normal. I am 9. I should not know what a condom is. I should not know what's inside that condom and how it got there, right? The crack vials, the needles, the crackheads. You know how many bicycles I had stole because the neighborhood crackhead wanted to help himself to my bike? You can't mess with my bona fides. You can't mess with my bona fides, okay?
Right.
You try to name the bona fides you're going to try to take from me, and I will crush your argument.
We can check out the box. Yes.
Under the weight of reality, you can't do it. I grew up that way and did not, my brothers, we all grew up in the same community during the crack epidemic in the 90s before Giuliani took over New York City. I'm talking about Ed Koch, Mayor Dinkins, New York City. Yes. We did not travel with guns to the corner store. We just didn't. Because if my brothers had a gun and my mama found out they was going to, like, she would kill them and then just tell God that they died. We're not doing that.
Absolutely.
We did not succumb to those, and I'm talking single mama here with no daddy in the home. We got all the odds stacked up against us. You cannot legitimize under any circumstances 14-year-olds having guns because they need the gun to protect them from Takeaway Sean. You just can't.
But April, so that question or statement in the chat, so evil has no zip code and no boundaries. So I've taken my bride and moved to the middle of nowhere, and you know it, and you know why. There are several signs on this acreage. You can't come here by accident. That last sign is say hi to Jesus, because you're about to meet him. If you have gone 200 yards, April, then your will for your life has been done for you to end up on this property.
Right.
3 years ago, we had 2 16-year-olds and a 17-year-old executed by a 12-year-old and 2 other 16-year-olds less than 5 miles from our ranch.
Wow.
You see? Now, they were all still in cars together in Ocala, and then the 3 turned on the other 3 and executed them out here in the Ocala National Forest. So,
I mean, you in West Bubble.
Thank you. So the proximity, this is why, like you said about the 2A, because when you allow evil to go unchecked, it grows. It metastasizes like cancer. And that's why, like I said, when I get to the third thing that we want from the government, oh yeah, we got to make something else common again. I won't say great, but common.
Right. All right, let's let them finish. We
Yes.
ain't getting through all these 7 clips. It's not happening.
That's fine.
That you are indulging as the lead prosecution in the state of South Carolina, that you are telling our world, and this case is being watched nationally, and you're co-signing on young kids illegally having firearms in the community. It's okay. It's the culture.
That's that culture. See what I'm talking about? I'm like, so why is it that some of y'all, that's y'all's culture, but then for the rest of us, we looking at you with our head cocked sideways with one eye like, huh?
Right.
I'm like, my kids don't know nothing about that culture. We don't raise them to be like, well, you know, that's just how we are, because, you know, we black and stuff.
Yes.
What do you mean that's the culture? Why is that your culture? Whose fault is that?
This is why the work that you do and that our brother Vince Ellison does is so important, because Vince on various topics has gone back on his show and pointed the shift in the 90s when you talked about when the Afrostocracy at one point, like Vince has noted many times with us in private and on his show, he talks about Reverend Calvin Butts and those who were speaking out against the whole gangster rap movement, you know, at that time, and how literally the NAACP and others shifted and said in the 90s, now like Vince said, it's, you know, some checks were written, but then started excusing this, saying, well, they're just reporting their culture.
Right. And then they started giving them awards.
Right. Fast forward and bringing them to the White House. Now, fast forward 30 years later and 35, where are we? So now we're justifying 14-year-olds with semi-automatic guns with lasers on them walking around in stores, and we wonder why we have the homicide rate that we have. Correct.
Let me grab this super chat. Hey, Jason. Jason says, PSA, public service announcement. Texas judge just released the video of the Karmelo Anthony stabbing. Turns out he was not jumped. Hunter wasn't involved, etc., etc. Who would have thought that all of the blacks supporting him were lying? What did I say? These blacks ain't honest. They not honest.
We would have, Jason. We would have.
I could have told y'all this. You know what it is? This is why my film Slavery is a Choice is so important.
Exactly. Correct.
We are we tearing that Band-Aid off. We're snatching the scab off, and we are removing every excuse. You will have nowhere else to go. After this film, you ain't gonna have nowhere else to go. You either gonna submit to the fact that, yes, slavery was a choice and I'm still choosing it today, and I wanna be free, or you gonna stay stuck on stupid.
Correct.
It's only two ways that this is going to go. Who knew that they was lying? Those of us with discernment.
Yes.
Right.
But Jason, right before, then go on with your point, but Jason gave us the perfect transition because remember, these two cases intersect because they show the hypocrisy. The same people on one hand that hate him, that are sending him death threats because he defended successfully Rick Chow, are then on the other hand saying, well, they wanted Karmelo found innocent.
Right.
Do we see the hypocrisy? When again, he never denied that he didn't do it. We have that from jump.
Right.
It was never a case. It was never a who done it.
They wanted it to be him didn't. I mean, he did it, but what had happened was. That's what we wanted.
Correct.
We wanted but what had happened was.
Correct. And so like Jason pointed out, so we've just created what you saw Killer Mike doing. And see, the reason why I said about the installation and the puppet master, he normalizes that for the community. And if when you think about that, when you said, like you said, our bona fides are how we grew up. How many people like that did you see in these dysfunctional communities? Charleston White is just the internet version of that cross-eyed hustler from back in the day who's running 3-car Monty and fast talking to everybody at the gas station and lying, but he tries to talk so fast that you won't catch on to it. We've seen this movie before.
Facts.
But as a community, if you continue to follow that, then you can't then be surprised while you're constantly in chaos. I promise you no other culture promotes that.
No. Oh, and for the record, okay, let me correct the record because I said my film. Okay, technically it's Vince's film, but I am producing and executive producing it. So it's kind of like his film and mine by proxy, but whatever. You must be related to Vince. You family.
I'm like, is Vince in the chat?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he said he done logged in under another account. Only Vince would say that. Talking about it's Vince's film.
Let me tell you something, Vince Ellison. We see you.
Right.
Go.
Anyway,
now, look at clip 6. It's 2 short ones, April, 6 and 7. Look at 6, because when you go from think about the crying and the lying, yes, this is what you get. Hit it.
Okay.
Knife had blood on the tip when he dropped. How the fuck you gonna stop me and shit? Niggas going out back Marlo out the box. I sound when he Austin Bob. Knife had blood on the.
All right, first of all, you need to warn me. You need sensitive stuff, Henry. We can't be playing them F-bombs like that too much.
Like, why do I send her the files?
So, question.
Yes.
I didn't know what this was.
Mute the sound, April. Go ahead and mute the sound.
Let's do that.
When he dropped, how the fuck you gonna stop me and shit? Niggas going out back Marlo out the box.
I can't watch.
Yeah.
You're
not hallucinating.
These knees.
You see?
Listen, keep these people away from your kids.
Correct.
I have 4 kids. I will bust somebody in the head to the white meat show if I ever saw one of my kids doing this.
Correct.
So we meditating on blood now? That's what we doing?
Yes.
They've
created a dance.
That is so evil and wicked.
Absolutely. And again, the same way you did not have parental involvement in these 2 cases that we're talking about, apparently other than to try to raise money, where are the parents, April Chapman? You are posting videos online celebrating the murder of another teenager. Made a song. And so this is the hypocrisy of TikTok. Now, we talk about the importance of pro-life and they'll snatch your video down.
Oh, yeah.
But this has been allowed to go viral.
Because that's what they want promoted. That's
Correct.
what China wants us doing the Austin Bop. They don't have to fire a shot because we are exterminating ourselves. This
From
is
the
the mind
inside.
virus. This is a mind virus.
Yes.
Satan is sifting us like wheat.
Absolutely. So these same, now again, I'm going to tell you, April, how this flies in the face of these conspiracy theorists that, you know, the new thing is, remember, it's another video. Like Jason pointed out, the judge releases the video, shows nothing that these grifters have been saying for a year and a half. And so now it's a different video, April, that has been scrubbed from the internet that showed him getting jumped and showed them pulling him back in the tent.
So they done moved the goalposts again?
Yes, girl, the goalpost is outside of the stadium.
Y'all, where's
the goalpost
Waldo?
is outside of the stadium at this point, and then so then they justify it by saying, well, this is okay, April, because he's been set up. This is unfair, so we're speaking out against our oppression.
Where's Waldo? Where's Waldo? I mean, like, we just keep him everywhere. We just can't seem to find him.
Right.
All right. Listen, it's 10:35. I never ate dinner. I forgot. This a lot. This is a lot. I wasn't prepared for this Austin Bop video. That messed me up. I mean, then seeing a girl doing it, like,
and when she can't get a job, she'll claim she's oppressed.
She's oppressed. They discriminating against me.
Yes.
I don't.
April.
What?
It's 7. One more.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
It's nothing graphic. I pray it's nothing graphic. It's no cursing, but the audience has to hear this because for every action is a reaction, and it highlights where I left off the last time we were on because a response is coming.
All right, let's play it.
I've been saying it for years. Reparations have been paid for a long time now. Yeah, I mean, hundreds of thousands of lives, white lives, lost in the Civil War to end slavery.
And black ones.
And then trillions of dollars of white taxpayers' money poured in to these urban centers. For what purpose? Is Baltimore better? Is Philadelphia better? Is LA better? Where's the urban ghetto that is largely populated and governed by white people?
Oh,
maybe Seattle.
Oh!
Flag on the plate.
White man, I don't know your name, but you're hurting their feelings, buddy. Oh, wow. That one cut deep. I got to replay that. He says it's so much better than I could. Hold on.
Largely populated and governed by white people. Is Baltimore better? Is Philadelphia better? Is LA better? Where's the urban ghetto that is largely populated and governed by white people? Oh, maybe Seattle.
Yeah, I mean,
to be fair, San Francisco, maybe. I guess there are examples. But of course, those are the people Myron Gaines was talking about, right? The cucked men and the liberal women. They destroy everything. And the only solution, of course, is to remove these people from civilized society. Whatever the cost is of imprisoning them, it's less than allowing them to go out and simply harvest white people again and again and again and again. This is not the solution to allow this to continue. And of course, it's still only a small percentage of the population committing this violent crime. You put 2% of the population in prison? I mean, the reason Europe became the first world nation it is, not full to the neck with psychopaths, is because for hundreds of years, the Europeans would execute 1% of their population. They would execute the psychopaths, the worst criminals, and take their genes out of the gene pool. I can't see America returning to those levels of execution, so we'll have to lock them up.
I told you, just give me one more. Just give me one more clip. That's that third. That's that third ask of government. Make capital punishment common again. Do your job. Bear the sword.
I know that was hard for a lot of people to listen to, because our knee-jerk emotional reaction would be like, dang, he sound like he don't like black people. Like he sound a little white supremacy, you know? I can see how you could come to that conclusion. It hit different though when I say it though, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I just be like, look, we're tired. Okay, we're tired. Y'all giving us the bad name. If we can't get assimilation from you, it's going to have to be incarceration or a reservation.
Exactly.
Isolation, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, this
Yes.
is not a novel idea.
No, it's not.
Lawbreakers need their lawlessness restrained. And the way you deal with the lawbreaker is you have to punish them by incarcerating them.
Or the sword.
Now, the way he said it got a little bite to it, because he got some passion and some bass in his voice. He like, look.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not wrong. We just don't like it because the white man said it.
Correct.
That's what it really is. But Jason
April,
Whitlock echoed the same sentiment not that long ago.
Yes.
And I'm the one that said, do we need another crime bill?
And that's where I wanted us to end on, because you're making a clarion call. And again, the people who are watching us tonight, these are not their children that are, or grandchildren that are crashing out like that.
Right.
But what falls on their shoulders is to speak out and speak up to friends and family who do.
Right.
Where have I been multiple times already in this summer, spring and summer, April, on Capitol Hill?
You have.
Lobbying.
Yep.
It's being talked about. It's not a game. There is a pendulum swing that we're trying to warn people that are coming. The 94 crime bill, everybody keeps crying about. I'm not one of those that cry about it, and I wish conservatives would stop. I'm like, the 94 crime bill was in response to the 80s crack epidemic, and I get sick of people saying, oh, well, it was different for black people. No, it was different between crack and cocaine, because cocaine was in Beverly Hills. Crack was destroying everywhere where we were.
Look, crack ran through my family.
Like a tornado.
My brother-in-law, my uncle, two of my uncles, my aunts, cousins, whoever didn't get locked up is dead. They're dead.
Mm-hmm.
They're not here. Crack ravaged my family. That's another bona fide you can't take from me. You come for me all you want to. Crack ravished my family. Period. So I don't even want to hear it.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And so when you let that hit home, April, this is not a game.
No.
And you can let these Pied Pipers lead you off the cliff if you want to, but you have no one to blame but yourself. Do you see this picture, April?
Yes, with the statistics.
This should be an inmate photo.
Oh, you need me to put that on the screen?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me, how I do that? Give me a second.
There it is. I got it.
You got it? Let me,
yeah.
Trying to move it over some, but I don't know how to do that. Don't worry about it. I didn't even know we could do that. Look at that.
Yeah, I saw it at the bottom while we were talking.
Okay.
April, like when you said, when people ask you these stupid questions about where you came from or where you live, that is my teen Bible study teacher.
Is it?
He executed 2 people.
What?
Over a car stereo. And when this is why when you talked about the criticism, it's not to make fun of Killer Mike because we're mocking him. We're mocking this stupidity and this lying that he is doing. Chris's dad, I was working at the pharmacy at that time.
Right.
And I'm on the news defending this dude, talking about the police got the wrong person, don't had Channel 7 out to the church, and her dad pulled me aside. And this is what you're saying is missing from the community, that wisdom from the OGs. And he was like, look at it for the case, not from your emotions. You knew this dude was trouble. Tupac teaching Bible study. His brother, he was on death row, and now I think Lewis has been executed, and they say he's schizophrenic, and now he has life. How do you have the father was a deacon, and 2 sons are on death row? Because the daddy in Cleveland and you in Florida with a single mother wreaking havoc. Wow. And so when you talk about where they see us now and at the White House and on Capitol Hill, that ain't where we come from. But we're echoing the sentiment that in this country, you can accomplish anything that you put your mind to, but you cannot have this victim mentality that we've been seeing promoted in our community for the decades that we have. Right. It does not work, April, and it leads to what we're seeing, period.
That is wild. Let me grab this super chat. Hold on. Shout out to M.M. Clark. She said, that's attorney Andrew Brock. Listen.
Yes. Supreme Court.
Andrew cool with me. We need more people who are just going to be bold and say these things. I wasn't asserting that he's a white supremacist. Absolutely not. What I'm saying is I told you I know these people. Okay, I know when they hear that is their default response because it's the emotions. They can't look at observable reality and look at where we are and understand that when someone has criticism against people who look like you, that is not hatred. That is called, these are the facts. This is the narrative. This is what's true. This is where we are. And some people, they are so ethnically narcissistic that they can't listen to what Andrew is saying here and just be like, is it true or is it false? They've got to view it from, well, he shouldn't say, he's white, he's this. It's like, is what he said true? Is it a statement or fact or no?
Right.
So that's the point that I was making. But yeah, he's not wrong. Like
he's not.
He's not wrong.
And here's what you have to respect. And it goes, April, you have a lot of godly men in your life. Pastor Rick Caldwell, Virgil, Vince, most importantly, Robert Chapman.
Marcus.
You know, yes, Mark, that they will give it to you, April, this is how it is. And sometimes you're like, but Henry, that sounds harsh. Yes, such is life. But this is the reality. You respect someone who is willing to tell you to your face what is unacceptable and what is coming versus somebody that's going to rub you on the back like these liberals that Malcolm X told you are the most dangerous creatures in America that's leading you right to hell, stroking your ego the whole way.
Right. That's facts. That is facts. Henry, it has been a pleasure having you sit co-chair with me on this live stream. I'm so grateful for your friendship. We have a good time. You guys, we're still encouraging Brother Henry. We're trying to get him to do these police body cam reaction videos because he spends so much of his time traveling around the country honoring our fallen heroes, the men and women in blue who've lost their lives in the line of duty. So his channel is Support Our Shields, and I would hope you guys would go over there and check out some of his content. But he's got us out here starving for these police cam body cam reaction videos. One day it's gonna happen. We don't know when.
Yes, it's Cops versus Chaos. April, I've been doing a smaller segment on the National Center for Police Defenses podcast. So that's been a way to sort of introduce it there. But yeah, it's really, your encouragement has been great, but it's really been, I've been caught up really focusing, having that opportunity to be on Capitol Hill so much. And this being there, sis, has opened my eyes to, April, bills take years.
Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing on Capitol Hill.
Yes, so I have been meeting with Congress people, more so on the Republican side, because a lot of the Democrats, you get a handful, but they really don't want to back any legislation that is pro-law enforcement. And so, like, one of the major ones that we're looking into was the Stop the Dox Act, which is where these radicals, the Antifas, get these officers' addresses and post it on social media, and have people showing up at their children's school and at their houses. So that's an example. But when you're there, you're having, you get access, April, to sit down and talk with people that are movers and shakers, people who write legislation. And so you may not see another crime bill on the books, being publicly pushed until 2027, 2028. But if you think that it's not already written, you are sadly mistaken. And it is not a game.
So that's in the works.
Correct. No, that is, again, the bills are written. Then they need to get sponsors and co-sponsors. It's to get the support behind it. Right. And unfortunately, a lot of times these things get moved to the forefront when it's a national crisis or a rash of crimes and incidents, and then they know that the pushback, the public will want it, and the backlash won't be there. So we can listen to Crime Mike all we want. They're selling you, they're writing checks that the community is not going to want to cash. I promise you.
Listen, if these teen takeovers continue, and if these random acts of violence where people are choking people out in the Target and stabbing people on the MARTA.
Subway pushing. Yeah.
Right. It's going to come sooner rather than later.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate it. Well, thank you, Henry, so much for joining us tonight. Let me grab, I have a few more super chats. We have one from Willie Harris. Hey, Will Harris. Will says, Tupac teaching Bible study. RuPaul, the choir director. That was funny. I mean, that's what we're dealing with. This is where we are. This is where we are. That was funny.
We weren't ready. I was not ready.
I was not. I'm trying to think, was there anything else? You guys, just to remind you about, we've hit the halfway mark of our crowdfunding campaign for the documentary Slavery is a Choice. And let me just go ahead and drop that link. For those of you who want to support this work and what we are doing here, we are well underway. We're halfway to our goal. We're scheduled to release this film in the summer of this year, August, like late August. We want to release it before Labor Day. However, we have
gonna jump back in the chat.
We got the last filming for this film will take place in mid-August, which is pushing the envelope. But our goal is to have everything around the whole thing done so we can insert this one important part toward the end, because we can't finish the film without it. And so we have to shoot that in real time. But outside of that, we are on track unless there's some unforeseen delay that is beyond my control. Look, I'm doing my part. But this film is amazing.
Vince made us an offer we couldn't refuse.
Right. So we got to go. We got to go. And we got to make it do what it do. So outside of that, though, I am keeping my eye on these Georgia races.
Yes.
Burt Jones did not win the GOP nomination. So we have Rick Jackson is our GOP Republican nominee going up against Keisha Lance Bottoms. And so I've got some meetings scheduled to get to know Rick Jackson, get to know the GOP nominee for Senate. That's Mike Collins. I have that next Friday. We are actively working to make sure that we keep Georgia red. We got to get John Ossoff out. And in 2028, we got to get that melanated-minded Marxist Negro, Raphael Warnock, out. And so I'll be dedicating my platform to make sure that my audience is well aware of why we need to put our support behind Mike Collins and Rick Jackson. Make sure we get those Senate seats back. Make sure we keep the governor's mansion red. And our Secretary of State, we need to, look, we got to keep that. So, you know how that goes. But
Absolutely.
Anyway, outside of that, I have nothing else to add. I'm so grateful for you guys in the live chat who have stuck around. It is almost 11 o'clock. I'm so hungry and dehydrated. The roof of my mouth, my tongue is sticking. I gotta go. Right?
Go get some food.
I'm gonna go. I gotta go. You know what somebody said? Speaker of the House. Listen, I'm too spicy to be the Speaker of the House. Now, I mean, I could be like a hybrid, you know, press secretary.
I said press secretary, yes.
Right, because I can give a good read, especially to the liberal media. You know, I just gotta, you know, I need a little bit more media training, a little bit more poise and under self-control, but I can probably read. I can read you like a hybrid between a Kayleigh McEnany and a Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Like the two of them, in my opinion, Kayleigh McEnany was an amazing press secretary.
Yes, facts.
Yeah, I mean, I loved her. I love Caroline too, but Kayleigh just, that job is stressful. I cannot have minor children at home in that job. I'd go crazy.
1 year, get a 1 year run.
I don't know. It depends on for which administration. Maybe for Marco Rubio, yes. I would do it for Marco. JD, not so much.
Okay, fair enough.
I could do it for Marco. Marco's my dude.
All right.
Big Marco. Anyway. All right, you guys. Until next time.
We starting rumors already.
About what?
April being a part of the Rubio administration in 2028.
You never know. You never know. I mean, I could see more of like an advisor. I'm not press secretary.
Listen at a chat.
I use too many double negatives, and you know, because I might say, listen, now one of y'all are out here telling the truth. Quit your lying. Quit your lying. Next, you in the back with the orange shirt. What? No, we're not doing that. No. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just gonna. There's too much attitude. They're gonna be like, oh, they got that sister girl as the press secretary.
They took Karine Jean-Pierre.
Oh, she was a disaster.
Thank you.
She was horrible. And I'm like, she's too cute to be this stupid.
So I would love to see the justification for attacking you.
Like, so you out here munching carpets. She's just too cute. I'm sorry.
We couldn't make it. We couldn't make it.
I'm sorry.
Grace and peace, you guys.
Grace and peace, you guys. Wait, what am I playing? I need to play an ad, don't I? Yeah, okay, let me play this. I'm April Chapman.
And I'm Vince Everett Ellison. There's a victim narrative here in the United States of America that says you have no control over your lives, no control over your agency. And they're basically saying that you're an animal, that you're a slave. I don't believe that. I don't think it's ever been the case. As an heir of Jesus Christ, and as a child of God, I cannot be oppressed. I cannot be a victim. I do not think I am, nor do I think that any American ever has been, or any person. Even when it comes to slavery, I believe, and I think they will hold true, that slavery was a choice. You know why I know? Because people are choosing to be slaves now. So I'm making a documentary to debunk the myth that any human being or any American is held under bondage without their permission, even if they have to kill or give their lives to be free. Freedom is a choice, and slavery is a choice also.
We're asking you to partner with us. We are here. We have begun filming Slavery is a Choice, and it's an incredible documentary that outlines Vince's argument to prove to the world that slavery is absolutely a choice. I've partnered with him in the executive producer position, and we are appealing to our audience, you guys, those who watch us faithfully every single week, to help us bring this film to market. We've begun a crowdfunding campaign, and we're going to link the opportunity in the description below for you to partner with us and give any amount to help us bring this project to market. Slavery is absolutely a choice, and we know that slavery is a choice because we're choosing it today with many of the decisions that we continue to make to our own detriment. So we're hoping that you guys will partner with us, and we want to bring this film to market in summer of 2026. So click the link down below. And I'm April Chapman.
And I'm Vince Everett Ellison. Freedom is a choice, but in order to be free, you must be brave. In order to not be a slave, you must believe in Jesus Christ. So believe in freedom, believe in courage, be courageous, assist us in this project, and let's set and make other people free by being true blue Americans, true blue Christians, believing in ourselves and believing in the future ahead. Thank you.